Howdy, howdy. Frosty510 here. Welcome to Urbek City Builder. Now, this is a puzzle-styled uh, planning, building sim game. So, heavy emphasis on puzzles. So, this is kind of where... Okay, I'll explain. So, every building has certain requirements. So, you start off with your basic little housing and... Oh, there you go. Here's a basic little house. And then it has various upgrades. So it goes to a village house, you need certain requirements. So see here, it needs more people around it. So it needs more residents. Then you go up again, you need food, you need education. Then you need tools, you need education, you need connectivity, you need more people. Or you can do religious, you need more, a police station, you need church services. You have options to how you build the city and how you evolve the basic structures. So the basic thing is the housing is absolutely key. So this structure here, which is a green 5-story residential building, required food services, tools, education, leisure, green areas, healthcare, retail, connectivity, no pollution, and no banking in the vicinity. So it took a long time. So it is a game, I think a very good game, to be frank. So I do recommend, if you see it on sale, it is very cheap either way. It's a good indie game to have a go at. I call it an indie game, but it's just very well structured. So it does reward, precision and knowing exactly what you need. So, having your, say, your school here and then having your balancing your resources is the other part of the game. So it's meeting the objectives to get basic structures like houses to upgrade, and at the same time having much larger structures which provides you resources, increases your resource cap. So here we produce food, so that's 14 food produced, but at the top right corner we've got a whole bunch of stuff going on. So it does get very complex, but it starts very slow. So when you first jump in, you have the basics. Let's just see if I can solve my food crisis real quick. No, I cannot. That is not good. Not good at all. So you have a cap on how much you can hold of a certain production. So you can see I have 23,000 food as a cap, and it's slowly going down. So I'm under pressure at the minute. This is where I'm like, oh. You do spend a bit of the game at times going, oh gosh. See, now I'm in the positives. Oh my gosh, I need to keep putting stuff down, I need to keep producing. You go in these loops where you build housing. As the housing levels up, it requires more resources. So more power, more food. So like a big building like this requires 100 food and 20 power, and then your basic little houses. There's 22 food, 4 power, and then it produces skilled labor and unskilled labor. That the skilled labor is higher up. It's all very complicated. I don't want to intimidate you, but that's kind of just the nature of the game at times. It does make you feel like you've got to know a bit what you're doing. And you'll learn it all, but one thing that you will learn as you play is clever tricks. So something like, here's a good example. So your lumberjack house produces power, which is great, but you need to have a lumber camp near it. So it needs to connect. And the lumber camp harvests wood. So you have the lumber camp in a position where it can harvest wood, and then you think, oh, I'll just put the lumberjack house next to it. When really, if you put it further away, you can put 2 lumberjack houses and produce double the energy with just a single lumber camp. So there's a lot of stuff you can do with the radiuses, which every building has radius of how far it's scanning for the requirements it needs to level up or to just function. So, I mean, yeah, the map I'm on here is the ruins, which is the final map you get. So it has a whole bunch of abandoned buildings, tall, what you can actually build yourself, eventually if you get up to it. So I'm not quite up to the 15-story building. I think I could show you what I'm just before it. So here we go. So this is the 5-story. To get to 12-story, I need offices. To get offices, I need to get 8-story mixed office commercial use. So to get mixed residential, so yeah, again, it's more complex. You have various buildings. There's a huge amount of things involved, and I feel like I'm just intimidating you. I feel like maybe you're not intimidated though. Maybe you're intrigued. That's kind of what I'm banking on. And this is on PlayStation 5, so again, there's not many. There's more than there's been in the past. Sim games, city designing, planning games on console. So this is another one that's cheap. They're generally more expensive. So this is a good option, I think, if you want to try it out. See if you can challenge yourself to work it out. Because once you've found your structure, it does help a lot to be able to repeat your structures. But for me, I didn't do that well at all. So I just sort of randomly put stuff down. Oh no, I need this. Oh no, I need that. And I'm just chucking all this down. And this whole area is covered in housing. And it's not, some of it's suburbs, wealthy suburbs, which I really want to turn into downtown. But I need tools. So to put tools, I need to put like a hardware shop. But to use a hardware shop, it consumes 5 production of goods. I got 45 production of goods. I got 10 skilled labor. That's fine. I could do that. But if I upgrade it, they'll need more resources. I've just noticed I need more food. So now I'm looking around at my food going, can I put another tenant farmer down? Because tenant farmers, they farm the land for you and they're really good. Like, I think they're really good. You lose 1 plot of farm, but you get production of 50. As opposed to the 14. So there's a lot going on. To put it lightly. But again, it does come back to this fundamental. You start with building a house, farm, so you have enough basic food for your people. And then you got enough labor to do it. So the labor aspect, I've got plus 13k. So I could increase the cap, but I need to put factories down, which do pollution. I don't like pollution. I don't want to put them down. There's a whole myriad of positive and negative aspects of just planning. It's so much planning. Knowing where you're going to put things beforehand is incredibly helpful. So for me, I don't do that. But you can still get stuff going. You can still unlock all the different biomes, which I'll go to the map and we'll just, yeah, that's fine. I'll save it. This one's going really well, but you can, I'll just show you. So you have your different, you have temperate, which is just your basic easy mode. Desert, which can be, it has its own challenges with how you grow your crops. You have to have water. The archipelago, so again, this one's where you do fishing as the best way to get food. And so you want to build stilted houses, you want to build fishing houses, and you have piers on the dock, and then boats and things going around, and you have ferries. The rainforest is really interesting. I think it's probably one of my favorite biomes, to be honest. And it's a weird one. It's where the trees are massive, so it takes you a long time to cut through them, but you can't just demolish them. You have to cut through them. So you just end up building a whole bunch of lumberjacks, and you're just trying to cut through the trees and create space for you to build housing and to get more, and to get proper food and get the orchards going. And it's actually it's really nice. I will load one. I'll see if I can remember which one. So the rainforest. It looks good graphics wise, but see, this is what it's like in the rainforest here. All the building, everything's made of wood. Large wooden house. And to get to the well, we couldn't even go up higher. We're pretty damn good. Yeah, so this is a tremendous amount of orchards, housing everywhere. Population is 17,000. You can adjust the camera, so you can go up and down. You can drop down and walk around, and you'll see that everything's looks pretty basic from the ground. And there's different cars. You unlock different cars as you do different challenges and things. Different pathways. You have 3 different pathways to total victory, but it's a fair bit of work to get there. So again, take it slow, but I think it's really nice. I think it's a really good game. I do think like 8 out of 10 stuff. Yeah, happy with that. The water looks nice. Look at the water pop. Look at the little wheel. So again, this one's the city's developed in a way where I've kind of just got stuck in a loop of housing and food, and I haven't really progressed in a way that's tremendously good. One of the things you can do is you can connect across, so you can put like that there, and then you can connect there, so you can get across early on. That's something would be nice, but again, to unlock everything, you have to get to a certain amount of resources. You need to get specific resources. So it's all about this loop of having what you need to get to the next thing, to have what you need to get to the thing after that, to have that requirement, that piece of stuff there, that thing there, and then it all interconnects with your resources. Oh, I need more food. It's mad, I tell you. So we need, this consumes labor, which we've only got 198. Oh no, we've got 19k. We got plenty. We got plenty. And you can only build so far away from roads. So that's another aspect you have to keep an eye on. But it doesn't have any traffic things like city skylines. It's not like that. Which, that's kind of... So there I could have moved the cabin. And I showed you. Actually, I'll do it. I'll show you. So what I can do is see it's right there. And then we can put another one here. And we double up the amount of power. So there's clever things you can do with positioning. So much is just learning about the best structure, which I haven't done. So again, I haven't played the game in the most optimum way, and I've had good fun. And 30 something hours I've played, and I can see myself playing more. It's just great. You can jump in, do your building stuff. You can unlock the other biomes and try them out. The ruins I found really, really, really challenging early on. Desert as well has real big challenges, and this one as well. I think it really does come into a good learning game. You really do feel like you get better and you do understand more, and you can apply it in a way that actually makes sense. And now I'm like, just put more, goddamn. So can we put in the red farmhouse? I can put a red farmhouse down. Wonderful. Let's see. Is there... Oh, there was that one there, wasn't there? Okay, so we can put down... where is it? Red farmhouse. Oh, here we go. Red seed collector. Then we can put down the red farmhouse. Can we? Oh, okay. Oh, it did pop up for a second. There you go. Then we got landlord. Oh, we got no tenant farming. Yeah. So yeah, everyone. It's a game where you get absorbed quite easy. You get sucked in. You go, oh, what am I doing next? And then I'm doing this, and then I'm doing that, and it's good fun. All right, I'll show you the fishing one. It auto saves. You can change the timing. I want to show you the archipelago, and then I'll show you the desert. I'm just spoiling the whole game. Not really spoiling it though, because to get through the game, to progress, requires so much understanding of what you need to do next, and that's just what you learn as you play. So I don't really feel like it's spoiling so much. It's just showing you just what a person who's not that good at the game can do. So you don't feel like it's... when I saw other reviews, I really felt like they kind of made it seem a lot more challenging than it is. But you know, maybe that's just me getting a bit overawed at times. But it's good. It is a good game. I think it's fun, and I like, I've got beaches and tourism and stuff, so I can do all sorts of resort things. So each biome has different buildings. They don't all have the same. Like there's special ones nuanced for each area. So it is really nice to have, like, this one here is the ship scrapyard. I do wish there was a biome where you could have everything, but there are some specific things for specific biomes that make sense why you don't have them in all of them. But I do feel as though the game maybe could have, probably does have on PC, like an ultimate mode where you have everything and like an even bigger map. But that's it. Performance, I've had no issues. Game performs really well. I think the structure of the animations and things and the way it's designed is all very, very smart. And in terms of keeping it looking good from a distance and then acceptable up close, but at the same time, it doesn't have the immersion like of knowing what jobs people are doing and what houses they're in, like a City Skylines 2 is doing, and still having its performance issues. But it's definitely much more focused on you going, oh, what are we going to do next? What are we going to do next? How are we going to get that to the next stage? Oh, we need food. How are we going to get food there? We've got an open slot there. Let's go here. What have we got? We can make a fish market. Do we have... no, we've got the stilts. We've got any... What can we do to get a fish market anywhere near there? And then we can't do that. Okay, let's look at supermarket. We have enough production. We need more energy. Oh, I just noticed the energy. And then you're back into, oh, I've got to get more power. I've got to put down, we've got the seaport, the fish warehouse. I need another lumber camp. And this one isn't positioned well enough. So again, I could be much smarter. That learning to position the lumber camps so you have power is just such a game changer. It's so helpful to have the cabins in a position where you can always get... Okay, let's see if we can find another one. You do want to not destroy the trees when you're putting these down, but yeah, this is a really handy tip. I think it's applicable at all times. And yeah, so you don't want to overreach. So what you could do is say, oh, I'll just fill this hole up with houses, but then suddenly you'll need too much power. You won't have enough food, and then you won't be able to do it. So you do need to sort of slowly expand. That's where it does encourage you. I feel that's kind of the contrasting with the SimCity. Well, back in the day, SimCity or SimCity, unlimited, 3,000 unlimited. And City Skyline, the big difference is that you have to be careful in how you expand because you can put yourself in an awkward position. There is options for unrestricted mode, so construction does not so it means you can put yourself in a really bad spot where it's hard to fix the issues you have. Like your detriments hit a point where the buildings become abandoned, and then you can stuff your whole city up. So, but I do have it on because it gives you more flexibility to put things down even when there is a negative. Otherwise, you can't place something down if there's a negative, even if you have, 3,000 or 4,000 of the resource. You should be able to, leverage time, and that puts more of a pressure on your planning again. So, I feel like I'm just sort of going in circles about how complex the game is, but at the same time, hopefully you're feeling intrigued. The challenges for each of the biomes are just population challenges, and then there's an ultimate objective, which in this case I'm doing path of productivity. So I need more high-skilled workers, more skilled workers, and there's 8 stages which are quite demanding, really. But there's different pathways. You can do path of entertainment, so you can do leisure, so you can focus more on, say, getting more beaches, more tourism stuff, more sporting grounds, larger sporting stadiums. All right, let's show you the desert. Spoil the whole game. What am I spoiling? The challenge, man. The challenge is absolutely... Oh, I started a second desert one because my first one went so badly. Alright, so this is all stone, and similar to the trees in the rainforest biome, you can just hack your way through it. But we have 2-story desert house, which is sick. We can get a green version. So if we have green areas, 10 or more in the vicinity, we can get that upgraded. So we can go to the parks. So that's a floral park gives you this big bonus, but it's cost skilled labor, and I don't want to waste skilled labor. So 60 there. So we'll be looking at where can we put a park to build this up. And we go, these houses are trash. Okay, so does that give me, what does that give me? Yep, stuff you mate. So boom. So now we have green 2-story. Oh, and so now we need tools, education, connectivity. So the point of upgrading, again, upgrading the houses gives you skilled labor as opposed to unskilled labor. And then there's highly skilled labor. And this enables you to, put them to work in different areas. And is that part of a building or is that empty? Okay, that's empty. So if we had a hardware thing, that would be tremendous. We've got the hardware, we don't have a goods factory. Damn. But yeah, the desert offers a challenge because of farming. So one of the things you have to do is put down these wells and then put farming right around it. So it really does make it quite challenging, particularly because you can't put down any of these because it's not farm strictly, it is desertic farm. So there's a bit of name classification stuff where it makes you go, oh, can I do this? No, I can't do this. So it's kind of, it is a little bit annoying at times, but it makes sense. I just wish they'd take away some of the other buildings until later, but then again, they haven't because you can do it still, and we kind of have farmhouses. So food production is such a challenging thing in the desert. That's where it's the bottleneck in most of the games. So this is why I went over the water. So this is fertile floodplains, so I can actually put normal farms here. So I've got normal farms all across here. So instead of having these beachfront properties, which have been worth good money, not really. There's no real money in this. So it's just managing your resources. So that, again, that's probably the biggest difference between this and City Skylines and the SimCity archetypes is there's no money, just resources. And you have different kinds of bridges, but they don't look that cool. That's another area where they're pretty poor. They're very flat with the bridges. I like the large, Golden Gate Bridge style stuff you could do. And one of the other things you can do is policies. So I do want to mention policies because it's a tricky way you can get through here. Is parks produce food. So I've got parks that make food, which has kind of saved this desert run. Even though it does have its own little complications. So here we go. Produce 10 food for 35 labor, which is maybe not worth it. But it's just nice to do. And when you put parks there, you can change the road. It changes it to trees stuff. So there's a whole bunch of little tricks you learn, and it teaches you all. It's got lots of tutorials, constant tutorials, showing you the ropes. Sometimes the steps in the tutorials are very hard to meet, though. You do find that I found that it was like, what? That's way too far. There's like a few steps between that they don't spell out. That kind of made it a little annoying, but for the most part, you can work it out. Look at these houses. What is their problem? Why aren't they wealthy ones? Food and leisure. So yep. I've said it all. Okay. That's enough. But yeah, the controls are good on the controller for PlayStation 5, which I'm playing on. It is a PlayStation 4 game, so again, you can play it on both. It controls well, makes sense, it's intuitive. If anything, I wish I could zoom out more, because I do feel like I'd like to see an even bigger, wider, zoomed out version of the city, just to really bask in my effort. Something that was really good about SimCity and City Skylines is how you could zoom so far out and you could really see it and go, oh my goodness, I built this massive city. So you just have to zoom around a little bit to really get that feeling. I'd love it like a photo mode where you could just zoom out and take a great shot of it. That'd be really nice. But it's a good game. It's very cheap, very affordable, and worth, spending some time on. You can have something on in the background. You can have, it's not one where it doesn't punish you for just leaving it most of the time, unless you've got the unrestricted on and you totally stuff yourself up. For the most part, you can be pretty casual about it and just put the things there, let the stuff build, put it on super fast forward. Always have it on super fast forward. There's no point having it on normal speed. And you just sort of da 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 da, and then maybe you'll pause it if you're really under pressure, which you can do. And you go off and come back, or you can leave it on. You can do this. It won't. The only thing is, it doesn't really build on its own, like say a City Skylines, where you just zone a bunch of stuff, and eventually the demand goes up and down, and then reaches the point where it will start to build on those zones, and then It's not like that, but at the same time, there's less to worry about in terms of traffic and all that sort of stuff. But it's more about, how would I get to the next point? How do I get to the future? Hopefully, I haven't gone too crazy, but I feel like I have. So I'm Frosty510, and I highly recommend Urbek City Builder. It's a great game. 8 out of 10. Things to improve. Just, zooming out further. I feel as though just a full sandbox mode where you can build anything. But then again, I can understand the puzzle elements are so strong and well designed that you don't want to just take away from that. But I do feel as though, on the consoles at least, more city building games, the better. More, more of that, the better. More sim sort of games, the better. I'd take even just SimCity 2000 remastered on PlayStation. That'd be great. Honestly, I'd enjoy that. I love the disasters. I do feel as though not having anything like that at all in Urbek City Builder is one of the things. It's kind of like you could compare it and go, there's no meteorite to destroy the city. There's no emergency. You don't get like police stations until pretty late on, and it feels as though you don't even have to worry about that aspect of there's no aspect of the game in that. There's no policing. There's no firefighting. There's no hospital stuff. So there's a whole lot of the city demands that don't exist so much. There is self-organization, so you can do anarchist things, but I've never seen any riots or any of that sort of stuff. So it is more just about the puzzle elements and progressing in that way and trying to level up the buildings and get them to the next stage. So hopefully I've explained the game well enough. Hopefully you understand, and I showed you what it is, so you know what you're buying if you decide to buy it. I do recommend it. It's good. And with City Skylines 2 delayed on console to God knows when, good little time spent. A good little bit of fun. Yeah. All right, like and subscribe. Tell me what you think of the game, if you played it. If you're thinking of playing it, ask me some questions in the comments. I'll try my best to answer them. So if you're still on the fence, and I'll catch you next time. Bye-bye. See ya.